Here we have an MCQ based on coordinate geometry. We are given the graphical representation of a triangle ABC and we need to find its area. Now the area of any triangle is half into base into altitude. Now what is the base? Let us take BC as the base. Now let us apply the formula later, but just looking at the figure, can you tell me how much BC is? The point here where the x-axis and the y-axis intersect, it is the origin, which means 0, right? So 4 units to the right, 1 unit to the left. Do not worry about the minus signs. We are talking about length, we are talking about distances, so the minus does not matter. So if you look at the whole this length BC, what do you notice? From O, 4 units here, 1 unit here, so totally how many units? We are talking about 5 units. Now what about the altitude? What is an altitude? Altitude to any base is actually the perpendicular line which connects it to the opposite vertex, or in other words, the perpendicular line from the opposite vertex to BC is called an altitude. Let us name it D. So what we have to find is AD. Now what is this point? It is 1, 3. Its x coordinate is what? Its x coordinate is 1. And what about its y coordinate? Its y coordinate is 3. So what is the perpendicular distance from a point to the x-axis? What is this distance? This distance is 3 units, right? The perpendicular distance from a point to the x-axis is its y coordinate. The perpendicular distance from a point to its y-axis is its x coordinate, which is what? This perpendicular distance. If you are worried about this perpendicular distance, it will be 1. And this perpendicular distance will be what? It will be 3 units. So your AD is what? It is 3 units. So your answer is what? 15 by 2, which is 7.5. Now this is the answer that you have to write for an MCQ. But if the same question comes for a 5-mark question or a 3-mark question, what do? You have to find the distance formula. You have to apply the distance formula. So the coordinates of A are given. What about B and C? Do you notice both of them lie along the x-axis? Now what is special about the points that lie along the x-axis on the x-axis? What is special about them? Their y coordinates will be 0. Similarly, we have to remember that if there is some point along the y-axis, their x coordinate will be 0. So please remember that both of our points lie along the x-axis. So B is -1, 0 and C is 4, 0. And what about D? In case you are wondering what is D, what is this distance? This is just 1. So this is 1, 0. So D is 1, 0. So in case you want to apply the distance formula and find out the same answer, your BC is this and your AD is this. Using that you can find out the answer. So that is all for today. You take care. Assalamu alaikum.